mostly of my own devising. I've helped out a bit of television here and there, extras work, that kind of thing, but mostly just creating the whole experience myself, which, call me a control freak if you like, but it is kind of nice to be able to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do, or something I think I've always done is there's something in the world, like a television magazine, and when I was a kid I want to do my own version of that. So I got the paper, I started drawing, I started writing and doing the programming I wanted to see based on an 11-year-old kind of consumption of television, which would have been a little bit varied for me. Anything to do with science or astronomy, and then good cartoons, and Sesame Street, of course. I suppose for me, having gone to art college, I just applied what I knew from making art to making film. That's what I do with anything creative, just apply similar rules and do it and find out by doing it. I really enjoy the films of Guy Ritchie. There's a lot of Irish films over the years, the last 15 years, and I think they're all brilliant, everyone I've seen. They can be serious and funny in the same moment. So I'm kind of absorbing a lot of that. I still love science fiction, despite working in heritage, and I think that's probably about it. Some of my roles have been quite different. Could be Irish, American, Polish, Russian, that kind of thing, but they're all within kind of like a well-studied framework for me. Growing up in an Irish community with a Polish father, I had those two accents, mostly in my life, and then from there, more English accents started to emerge as I went out into the world as a child, and found living in London until I was 25 a really interesting multicultural experience. For example, it was only 3 miles down the road and it was like being in India, in a region called Southall, so it was a completely cultural experience. And then again, you go up towards Greenford and you could be somewhere Arabic, places like that. So, and the people as well, it seems I knew people from every race, creed and colour whilst living in London, which seemed natural. I suppose what I would like to see, and have been waiting to see, if not maybe do it myself on a zero budget, is start to look at Celtic myth. We have so many rich stories. If we have the production level of Game of Thrones and Vikings, and we start making this with Irish actors in this country, in Troy Studios, and places like King John's, Craiganowan, where there's a ready-made set, it'd be fabulous. Or Maddie. I think the whole idea of Celtic myth and that kind of thing, would be wonderful to explore, or even a Celtic comedy, because it's becoming more and more popular. This kind of image or nostalgia for the past, you could say. Or if things really go wrong, at least we know how to start a fire, hunt wild boar, and raid cattle from your neighbour. I'm thinking about some of the big heroes like Cuchulainn and Fionn McCool, and wondering if they were to be here now, to talk to them, to thank them for their talents, for their lives and what they did, and if they feel they have any regrets over what they did, let's say. That's assuming they were real live people, and in terms of myth, there's usually more truth than lies in any mythology. Well, I suppose having made videos before, maybe, I suppose really in the last 8 years I haven't really done much in terms of that, in terms of YouTube anyway. And I'm beginning to get back into that a little bit, because there's unfinished projects that have been lying around. I mean, for me, editing takes a very long time, so maybe this winter I'll come up with something from an old project that's the next part. But from there, it's hard to tell where I'm going, because most of my summers or half of the year is taken up working as a Celt or Viking. They pretty much look the same anyway, maybe a few subtle differences. So, I've been very busy doing that and not much time thinking about filmmaking except something to do with that. Celtic Age, the Iron Age. But something fun, I think it would have to be, you know, and it might even need a script.